randomly chosen audience members. Mr. Kretschmer, who's our panelist tonight?
Well, Chris, first up we have the founder and CEO of Garcia Media, international storytelling guru, Mario Garcia. The director of digital, mobile, and new product design of a little shop you may have heard of, the Washington Post, Sarah Samsel. Illustrator, flip-flop wearer, Brooklynite, and McSweeney's visual columnist, Larry Buchanan.
And Mr. Kretschmer, if I'm not mistaken, we have already selected our first audience member, is that correct?
That is correct, Chris. Come on up, Steve Cavendish.
Big hand for Steve Cavendish, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. So Steve, is this your first S&D event? Yes, that's good. We're so glad to have fresh blood in the room. Anyway, I want to explain to you really quickly how this is going to go. Each panelist is going to be given 2 minutes to share with you what they feel is their most pivotal story. You will decide who has best made their case for yourself and the audience, and each panelist that you select will receive 5 points. Now, of course, you're only selecting one panelist. So, with that, we will start our game show with none other than Dr. Mario Garcia.
I have many of them, but the one story that I actually use in order to survive in this business, if there's one pivotal story that I could mention, is that you've got to have a heart. You know, without a heart, you're not going to go anywhere. What does it mean to have a heart? It means that you normally have to put yourself in the shoes of the other person. When you have that art director sitting there who doesn't want the consultant in the room because he can do it, you've got to have a heart to put yourself in the shoes of that person. Think like that person thinks. You've got to have a heart with the editor. You've got a heart with everybody. And I think that if there's a pivotal story that I can share is, if you have a heart, you will get the project done. You will get the story accomplished.
All right, thank you, Dr. Garcia. Next up, Sarah Samsel.
So I took this in a little bit of a different direction. My pivotal story is the fact that Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion. I think that's a lot of money for a free app, especially an app that doesn't make any money. Next, can you go? So, can you keep going? So, you know, it's basically just an app where you take pictures of your friends and the Nats losing and your vacation photos, and of course Jim Brady and his hotel night reflections. So why would Facebook spend that much money on this app? You know, the reasons are simple. It's a great idea. It's very simple. It's well executed. It came with a community of over 80 million users. And people freaking love their phones. It's all on phones. There's no desktop component to it. You know, and it all comes down to great user experience and design, and that's good news for us because, you know, Google buys things that are innovative technologies, and, you know, Facebook bought something that was a really great design and user experience. So maybe we'll all make $1 billion someday.
Now, Larry Buchanan, everybody.
So I took this in a slightly different direction than the other two. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the first illustration I did for a kind of big client called The Onion. And my friend Brian, who works at The Onion, gave me a call one day and said, we have this book coming out. It's called The Onion's Book of Known Knowledge. We're making an encyclopedia, and we're just going to make everything up. And he gave me a choice of a couple illustrations to do, and the one that really spoke to me was this illustration of this beaver carrying a severed arm in his mouth. So the pitch was they were going to do this entry for beaver dams, and this beaver dam was going to be full of dead bodies. And this was the most bizarre assignment I'd ever received. And I sent him this initial sketch, and he said, that's great, people are loving it, but it needs to be a little gnarlier and a little grislier. And at that moment, I knew that this job was amazing. That I get paid to draw pictures of beavers with severed arms in their mouths. That's all I have.
A big round of applause for each of our panelists. Mr. Cavendish, who best made their case?
I'm going to go with Larry and the severed arm.
And is there a particular reason why you feel like Larry won that round?
It had a severed arm and a...
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cavendish. And for being a great sport and an awesome guest. Yeah, we have a lovely City of Cleveland t-shirt. It's from one of our great vendors right down the street, the Cleveland Design Shop, I believe is the name of the place. Steve can win this shirt, or what's inside of that box. If you agree, Steve is going to get the box. We'll see. All right. Steve, I'm sorry. Let's see. What do we have inside of this box for Mr. Cavendish? Why don't you reach in there and pull that out? No, not the marker. You don't get the marker. What is that? Why don't you pull that out? Oh, no, something on the other side. Oh, you get Charles Apple's voice on your voicemail. Steve, I'm going to call you and make sure that it's there. You're done. Steve Cavendish, everybody. We're going to move on to round two. Now, the irreplaceable tool. The irreplaceable tool. And Mr. Crutchmer, I believe we have another audience participant, don't we?
Yes, we do, Chris. Alex Fong, come on up.
He is so excited. Holy Jesus. I didn't realize celebrities are allowed in here. How are you, sir? You're good? That's awesome. Are you ready to play? Do you understand the game? You do. Do you like it? Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mario Garcia.
Oh, an irreplaceable item. For me, it's teddy bears. And teddy bears are so essential. I give out more teddy bears than Santa Claus. But what is a teddy bear? A teddy bear is the toy for the insecure. So you walk into a newspaper and the editor is so unsure of how the redesign will go, people will not like it. They will cancel their subscription. Give them a teddy bear, everything's going to be okay. The art director, I don't know if we should really put that typeface in there. I think we'll be better off trying something else or keeping the one we have. Give them a teddy bear, everything will be okay. And then there is always a publisher. The publisher comes in and will tell you, listen, we know that you've been around, you've done this a lot, but what happens if the redesign fails? What are we going to do? And I always say, if I get paid, I'm okay. So you've got to be armed with teddy bears. It's like, give them out as much as possible. That's the irreplaceable tool for me.